Everyone, hope you're all doing well. What I want to show you today is another thing that we could do as an exercise that we could say falls under the umbrella of the main topic that I've currently been discussing in a lot of the recent videos, which is how we might go about practicing chordal pieces of musical material with a specific focus on the body component, as I like to say. And the thing that's going to be unique about what I want to show you in this video is basically how we can take a complete piece of chordal material, whatever it is, from start to finish, and basically can we actually work it out and be able to play it in all 12 keys. Alright, now there's a lot of things that are similar in what I'm going to show you here today to things that I've already showed you in other recent videos, and if you haven't seen them, could be good to check those out. And I'm going to be using a lot of similar techniques and methods that I've already discussed in order to achieve what I want to do in this video, and that would be stuff like, taking the ideas and moving them up and down the frets and transferring them, across string sets as much as I can. But with something like this today, the objective, I think, is a little different in that what my main goal is basically, can I actually take a complete piece of music or a part and be able to play it in all 12 keys? That's what I care about the most. Not necessarily like with some of the other stuff where we might take little bits or fragments of a more complete piece of material, but because it's a smaller little piece of material, it's more malleable and easier to move it up and down, or we can get through it quickly and we can really exhaust the potential and range and see what's viable with these little chunks of material. So that's more about really exploring the possibilities on the guitar, and this is more for your musicianship and knowing that you can take a piece of music and sort of express that full idea in all keys if you wanted to. And like today, I don't need to move this around any more than an octave. I don't have to necessarily keep things going in one direction. I just need to be able to play the idea as best as I could in all 12 keys, and by doing that you can get a lot of benefit out of it. Truth be told, this isn't really a practice that I do that consistently myself. I really haven't done this in a while, but every time I do it, it's a great idea and I can recognize the benefit. So I thought it would be cool to do this in a way where the example that I'm going to get into now, that I worked out for you, I literally haven't worked this out in any other key than the original key already. So you're literally going to see an authentic representation of me going through this for the first time, and you'll see genuine emotional responses that I may have as I discover things as I'm going through, and you'll see the types of things that I might notice and really how I do this and what I might get out of this. Alright, so it should be exciting. I just wanted to quickly add that this basic concept of taking musical ideas and working them out and potentially practicing them in all 12 keys is something that I feel, while it may often be praised and supported as a good thing to do in your practice, I also think it can often be overlooked and passed up in reality, especially by guitar players, because I think this type of stuff can often seem pretty obvious and basic, and you might recognize that it's good, but it's also kind of I get it, I don't need to put too much focus on that. But the truth is, unless you're really doing this stuff and you're in the weeds with it in the moment, you're not really making these certain connections that you're internalizing by actually, following through with this stuff when you're doing it, all right? So I'm saying this because you're going to see literally what I would be doing with this example coming up, as if I didn't even have the camera on, and you might think, oh, he's just kind of doing the same thing in every key, I don't need to stick around to the end, but you would want to stick around and see, everything that kind of comes out of this, because you want to see how I might adjust things and, accommodate for different keys, and how I might be internalizing things as I go forward, alright? So if you're interested in this stuff, I would still make sure to definitely stick around to the end, and hope you enjoy. So anyway, the example today is basically like a little copy example of something that you could play that goes over the form or the tune Minority by Gigi Gryce, and this is a great jazz standard if you don't know it. The form is kind of similar to, something like Solar. Lots of similar types of things happening. It's in a minor key. You got these consecutive 2/5s moving in whole steps. So it's a good tune, and it was a good one I thought to pick for this one because, like I said, we are doing a complete, example here. So this form is relatively short, so we could get through it quicker, of course, and, not hopefully make the video get too long like they often do. Alright, so I'm going to just play the example now, the original key, And I have a PDF of this if anyone's interested, of just the original key here. It includes tabs, notation, and it's available on my website as well as my Patreon if anyone wants to check it out. Alright, so here it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and it continues. Same thing. Okay, so I want to put that in all keys, alright? So let's get into that now. So to start, the first thing I'm going to notice is since I'm in the key of F minor, and for a lot of this example, I'm kind of staying around this range of the guitar, just inevitably, if I'm going to move this around to different keys and utilize a lot of the same techniques that I've talked about in other videos, I think it's going to make sense in this key to generally start by moving things down chromatically, because I have this whole area of the guitar to cover where I can kind of keep things similar and not have to move things to different string sets too much yet, right? So that's kind of like my plan to start out. And also, one thing to notice would be the chords that I use in this example that have the lowest possible bass note, and therefore like the lowest note on the guitar of any chord I play, would be both like this C13 chord and also like this, well, what would normally be seen as like a C minor, like flat 6, or almost like an inversion of like an A flat major chord. But this is actually really cool the way this is being used in this example. I'm not going to like break down this whole thing, but I'll talk about things when they come up. So basically, the places where these voicings are being used are like kind of in the beginning of the minor 1-6-2-5 in the key of F minor, and then also at the end of the tune, you know, bringing it around. So in the beginning, you know, the tune starts with I'm playing like an F minor 9, and then a D7 sharp 9, and this is more conventionally played over here, like that Jimi Hendrix voicing, but it's literally the same shape on this string set because it keeps the whole idea over here. I like it there. Alright, and I like it on those heavier strings. Now for the minor 2-5, this is actually a really cool thing, and I'm using the melody here because that's like the note in the melody in the, you know, the G minor 7 flat 5 or the 2 chord, but I'm playing G minor 9, which is really not what it should be. It's almost like borrowing from the, you know, major, parallel major key. And then I'm playing a 13. That chord also doesn't usually voice lead right to the 5, but it's almost like a transition chord the way I'm using it. And then I'm playing this, what looks like that C minor 6, but I'm using it basically still like a C7 chord. And this would be like a sharp 9, sharp 5, and it's like your 7. So it has no third. So this is actually a really cool chord to use in this way. Like as a 2-5, the whole device is, you know, I'm not talking about the rhythm either, but it's like, and then back to that, right? But that's the lowest one. So in terms of like that whole device, you know, in terms of being a 5 chord, I can really only move it down to here. So I'm going to be aware that when I'm moving things down, I'm going to have to eventually maybe move things up again. All right, so let's go through this now. So I'm going to move it down to the key of E minor. All right, so I'm going to start by trying to do everything the same. I'm actually not playing it with the right rhythms and articulations, but whatever. I should mention that I'm not going to be focusing too much on that stuff, but that stuff, of course, matters in terms of, like, you know, the full example and getting them to sound right, alright? But really, I'm focusing more on, like, the shapes and can we play all the right things and all the keys, alright? So let me take it from the top again. Turn will be up here. Right? Right? So pretty much everything can be exactly the same in that one. Nothing to move around yet, but notice the patterns of, you know, how you get from section to section, and look how great it could sound just by moving it to a different key. Exact same thing, alright? All right, so we'll do that again. We'll go to E flat minor now. So here we go. Got the rhythm wrong there. That rhythm was wrong there too. Okay. Still kind of the same thing, but still already kind of showing me like, wow, just has a different vibe. Like just to kind of play these sequences of voicings, I'm learning these voicings or, using this song to work out these cool, sequences of chords. So they may be innovative, by kind of composing them for these songs, but then move them to different keys, and it kind of inspires you to see like, oh, you got a lot of mileage with these ideas here if you really practice them and become familiar with them. All right, so totally rambling here. Let's go to the next key, D minor. All right. Yeah, I got the rhythm wrong there. It's all right. Okay. And just so you know, because I haven't broken it down, that little like 2-5 at the end is also a cool little way you can do a minor 2-5. So in D minor, like for my 2 chord, I'm actually playing a E minor 9, and then like a tritone sub of the 5, which is A7. I'm playing like a E flat 7 sharp 9. So 2 common tones, 2 tones move down a half step, and then I'm playing what looks like a D flat major 7 sharp 11, like a Lydian chord, but also over the context of a 5 chord, which is A7, you get like the dominant with the sharp 9 and the sharp 5, so it's like a 5 to the 1, right? So some cool little things you can do with the voicings there. So let's move to the next key, all right? Now we're going to be in C sharp minor. Okay, now this one, you get into the open position here, or, So I might want to start to become aware for the next one, like how am I going to move that down? So this chord would be, what am I using this for? Let's start this one from the beginning. And then, alright, so this would be like a D minor 7 to G7. So I'm thinking of this like F major, like the relative major. So now here's one of those things where, that's what it's voice leading to. Now on this string set, in order to do that, it's not the easiest transition. It's something to practice. So here's where something, to think about may come into play. Like, do I want to really play this exactly the same here? Or do I, want to play, leave out the bottom note? Another thing that we could do, this F major 7 chord is basically like a D minor 9. Okay, like you put that over the D, you got the flat 3rd, the 5th, the flat 7, and the 9. So we got the 9 in the melody. This is a different voicing, but with that melody note, it's very, similar in terms of context, how it's being used and how that sound is working there. So perhaps instead of playing, it might be, easier and more practical to do something like that. So let's say I'm practicing coming from the beginning, still in the overall key of C sharp minor. Right here. Right? Or wrong chord there, but you get the idea? So that's going to help me now going to the next key, because I know I'm going to have to use that same device. Alright, so now we can do key of C minor. And also we're kind of running out of room in terms of playing this here now. So do something like, what would the next one be? Where were we just at? So, sorry, but this is the process, right? I'm doing this for the first time, so. Okay, so this would be like E flat minor 9 to A flat 7 instead, and then C sharp minor to F sharp 7, then I keep getting that one. Right, so let's do that in that same key, the whole thing again, with the rhythms and everything, so. Alright, okay, so now we can move it along more. So now we're in the open position. B, B minor 9, first chord. So I may want to choose to start moving things around a little bit now. So instead of playing this here, I might play the same chord on this string set, alright? Same chord, slightly different fingering for these 4 strings here. Okay, B minor 9. Then, 6th chord, and then this still works for this key. You know, we could. I guess the open position is fine for this one. Let me start from the beginning. Then we move here. Oh, that was there. Okay. So see, this is good to realize now. Like, let's say my root is here. When I do like the sequence of 2 5s, like if I'm thinking all minor 9s, it's the 5th away or going to the 4th. I should know this because I know the tune, but again, when you do this in all keys, this really gets your mind working to know like the form in, you know, a more sort of general way, if that makes sense. So let's take this from the beginning again. I know it's a little off with the chords and rhythms. Okay, so let's do this one more time because we're starting to get more familiar. Okay, so key of B flat minor now. We're really gonna have to start moving things around. So, you know, B flat minor, we can do the chord on this string set. That's still fine there. And then we got, now this could work for this. Yeah, see, we're gonna have to start figuring out what we want to do here for like this little thing, like the minor 2 5. Well, that's what the original one is. Back to this. So let's see. If I move the whole thing up an octave, C minor 9, 13, and then, alright, so I guess that's what it would be in the other key. How does that sound jumping up the octave? Let's see. Well, instead of playing that there, we could move that one up here, like that. You know, do a little bit more unconventional, something to work on. You know, you can do something like this, bring the 9 up there, like that, you know, so maybe that's an adjustment there, but it's kind of intuitive, you know, and kind of works the same way. So instead of playing a minor 9 like this, now I'm kind of still having the same melody note, but in the other octave, and playing this sort of stock minor 9 shape, and this will voice lead down better to that 7 sharp 9 there, alright? Okay. Okay, so So this one we're gonna have to move up again. So we can actually go up to the higher octave the way we did it before. So we'll bring this up. Alright, so say we're coming from, you know, like something like that. And then we're gonna have to do this in the higher octave as well, probably. That's literally the same thing as what we had down here. It's actually pretty cool in that lower register. You know, but it could be good to start moving that up as well. Alright, it's like that minor 9 shape, B minor 9, A7 sharp 9, to the top of like a, you know, F7 sharp 9, right? But that's what we're doing. So, yeah, B flat, A flat, that's what, yeah, okay. Just talking myself through it. Hope you're enjoying this. So, let's go to the next key now. We'll do A minor. It should be a pretty similar type of thing, so. Something like that, right? Maybe I'll go up for the next one now, so. What we got. Right? Now we're in key of A minor, and it's cool because, like I said, this is like a different finger. You may associate this as a different device or piece of material that you can utilize as like a way to play a 1-6-2-5 in a minor key. You know, but now it's giving you more mileage out of it, right? And also exploring all the keys. Alright, let's do A flat minor. We're actually getting towards the end. Alright, so. Alright, sounds pretty cool. It's always a nice key. I know the rhythm is off, but my first time playing this. If I did that in a lower register, to then hear that like gritty type of sound, right? How's that for a minor 2-5-1 in the key of A flat minor? Some real nice stuff. Alright, we'll do G minor now. Maybe we'll go up here now. Yeah, let me start this one over. That's nice. And what do we got left? We got one more key. So we'll do F sharp minor. And maybe we'll kind of do this the way we did from the beginning. We'll just move it up one. Instead of going, right? We'll just go. Yeah. One more time. Alright, so get the idea? we went down one more, we'd be back at the beginning. So that one wasn't actually too bad there. So hopefully you can see, I'm discovering things, just kind of going through that for the first time. Like I said, for sure, not only the way that we do it, like these cool little 2/5 sequences, but also, the way we kind of turned it around to like have that shape, and then even, or I'm sorry, this one to this, and then to see this, even to not be afraid to play this shape, this like A minor 9, but in this octave with that, a little bit less conventional fingering, something that could take a little getting used to, and then that with the string skips, because this chord is really just like a D13. We're a lot more used to playing this the stock shape like this, but to play this with the string skip up here, I guess you would use these. If you did this without the bar, I was doing it with the bar the whole video, but this would be the way to, play these more comfortably, right? So this way you can kind of mute that. But something to, get used to and work on, of course, all right? So I guess we're just going to leave that there today, all right? So if anyone has any questions, anything they're confused about, or anything they want to say or make any comments, just put it in the comments here. I'm here to help. And in the next episode,
hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey,
I think I might want to do something quick and random that's kind of been exciting me. Still a very good video and still I think a good time for this video, but I think for now I may just be doing one more video on working on chordal material, specifically with the body component, and I think it will pretty much wrap up the body component as a massive general topic that I honestly think I've been talking about for this whole last year. For now, I can always come back to things, but I think we'll be finally, wrapping that up, which should be a relief or exciting if you've been checking out all the videos already. So that should be something to look forward to. But of course, I'll keep you guys posted and continue making some content for you guys. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like and consider becoming a subscriber, as well as a contributor to Patreon, where you'll get all the PDFs that come out on this channel all the time for only $5 a month. And if you think anyone else would enjoy this content, please share it with them as well. And I will see you guys in episode 91.
Swinging and playing the blues. That's what we about.
I try to help you.